Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Stanley's, but you may know me as Stamprgrl. Today I'm creating this mixed media Beetle set, Beetle card. The stamp set is by All I'm Create, and I'm going to stamp it on a teal color cardstock. Just getting everything set up. I'm using my Stamp Perfect Positioner, and just to where I know where I want these the image to be. So here are the embossing powders that I will be using. Some old color box ink pigment, and let's get started. We're going to start by just having some fun with some acrylic inks, and we're going to add some extra water to be able to mix a splatter. I'm using a acrylic mound for stamps. I'm using the back of it because this one has groove lines. Those white lines are graved in. So I'm using the back so the ink doesn't go into those grooves, and it's a much easier cleanup. I am going to be using purple, green. I end up adding, let's see what else. I think yellow. And some of them I did add water. Some of them I left them be a little bit more like it's still liquid acrylic, but it's a thicker consistency, and you guys will see that. You see how easy this clean this up with just a wipe. That is fantastic. I'm going with the blue because I can do blue, and this one I didn't add any water. The blue and the purple, I know I can put them together and not get a muddy color. So this is where I am. I decide I am going to do a little bit of drying at this time, but then I noticed that some of the ink was like super beautifully translucent. So I am going to come back with some water and just to get some of them. So here's my spritzer, just to get them to bleed a little bit. And I love how this is turning out. And then this was an error. I started pressing water and I got some of the color from the green in the box. And I was like, oh, I love that green in there. You know, happy accidents. So I'm going to come in with now my green acrylic color and add some to this. Trying to open it. Here it is. And that one I did add some water. Again, these are by Neon acrylic liquid colors, so they are super bright. I'm making sure that these inks are moving and that they're giving me some funky looks. So I am gonna keep adding, drying and adding water and spritzing water, and everything is kind of falling apart. I'm using this gold glaze. It is by Stamprgrl, and so this glaze, what is cool about it is that you put it in and then you can actually go and remove some of it. And you can do this in multiple times, and it would stay in some of the areas that are more like that can have still a tooth on the paper, which is kind of cool. Like, and then now I am testing to make sure that this is nice and dry, because I did dry it for a longest time. And this is good to go. I am excited. I am going to start stamping this. You will see that I kind of have a little bit of a boo-boo, and the reason is my color box ink pad is old. And when I say old, I mean 1900s old. I'm using, by the way, a static buddy. When I come here, I am like stamping, and then I realized this foam is it's 30 years old. So I stamped it way too hard. So you're gonna see how it is. Like it has destroyed this lime green ink pad, but it's still working. So I will have to figure out a way to keep using it because I love that green. That is my favorite lime green. So now that we have all stamped in lime green, I am going to come in with a little bit of Lindy's embossing powder. This Lindy's embossing powder has a pearlescent look. I'm using my fingers to just grab bits and pieces here and there, and that is good enough. Like, you could do this a lot more, but no problem. Then I'm coming with my neon again, using my fingers, just adding bits and pieces here and there, and I'm gonna remove the excess. And like, since what I used before was blue, I can put this back into the container. Now, for the gold glitter, there's no way I'm adding my hand in there, because I'll have glitter for the rest of my entire life. But you'll see how I like remove that. I'm gonna put it back again, especially over the big beetle. I am putting the excess glitter into my container because it actually didn't get contaminated that badly. Now I'm going with my black, and I added just the smallest bit of black because I know there's not a lot left to be grabbed by embossing powders, because almost everything else is covered with the other embossing powders. And that bit of black that was at the end, I did toss, because that one had bits of the glitter, and I didn't want any that anywhere near my black embossing powder. No, I'm coming with my Doris 1900s heat embossing tool. I love this guy. It's true and true my best friend in here, because I love it. I use it to hide emboss. I use it to dry. It's just fantastic. Look at that sheen and that shimmer from that glaze. Now I'm coming with my Stabilo pencil. It is the black one, and I am doing lines all on the right side of all the beetles, and bringing up some water and just diffusing those colors around. You will see that I end up not being completely happy of how much my beetles have popped out in terms of interest. This is a very busy background, which was what I was going for, so there's nothing wrong with it. So I end up, you'll see me scribble onto the glass. That's the beauty of the Stabilo pencils. You can scribble into the glass and then pick it up with a wet paintbrush and use it as just watercolor, which is just the best thing. If you have never tried these pencils, just give it a try. They come in different colors. I mostly use my black one. You see, here's where I'm doing it, and look how that big beetle on the left, it just pops immediately out of it. And I just love the way it just turned out. This is fabulous. It is gold. There's gold, there's shimmer, there's glitter, there's a little bit of everything. Now here comes my, I think, the winner of all. I'm using these old bingo markers, and I am heating that bingo marker like no one's end. And then I am coming with one of my old itty bitty planters that I just bought for this whole reason, and I am gonna come with my silver pen, metallic pen, and just add some silver. I could probably have used gold, but there's so much gold in here, not in a bad way, but I just wanted a different color to bring attention to this little piece of like fun piece of ephemera that we just created. It's just unique. There it is. Here is our end and final look at the car. Thank you for joining me, and remember, don't leave your crafting for tomorrow. Start today. Bye.